Welcome everyone to Wimbledon Daily.
Our daily podcast giving you the insights into the most exciting matches to watch each day at Wimbledon.
We are also going to be giving you our wildcard of the day on both the men's and the women's side. So we're going to start with the wildcards of the day. Now, for you guys watching, these are players who are underdogs who we think, between Jaya and myself, can cause an upset at Wimbledon.
Yeah, so I'll start off on my side, Sam. So I'm going for a great match, in my opinion. I'm going to go for Alex de Minaur versus Korda, young American player Korda, that is. I feel like Korda's going to actually cause the upset against de Minaur because de Minaur is ranked 15 at Wimbledon. So he's one of the seeded players. And Korda, big serve, big tall American, young. He's got that explosivity on a grass court, and who knows? I think he could be an upset for day one at Wimbledon. What do you reckon about that, Sam?
I think that's good, Joe. I mean, I say you look at both those players and how they're playing, and I do think, like you say, every chance there that an upset can be had. And we know what happens at Wimbledon. You know, day one, nerves kicking in. You know, you got some of the crowd there as well. So I think I'm looking forward to that match, and I think, as I say, every chance there to cause a little bit of an upset in that match. Moving on to my match on the men's side, I am going for Frances Tiafoe, the young gun American, the stylish, flashy player who I think could cause an upset. It's a big call. He's up against Stefanos Tsitsipas, who we know about from his experience this year in Grand Slams, how well he's done at the French Open. But I just feel like Tiafoe has got enough to his game to cause Tsitsipas some problems, and to say he is who I'm backing to be a bit of a wild card on day one, up against the Greek Stefanos Tsitsipas.
Sam, I love that prediction. Always love Tiafoe. I love the energy he brings to the court, and he's definitely going to make the most of the 25% capacity crowd that's going to be there on day one. He's going to rise to the occasion. I think he's got quite a good court, maybe court 2. I think he's on. Definitely one to watch. I think those two matches are, to be sure, a wild card for day one at Wimbledon.
Also, Joe, I mean, he won a challenger event at Nottingham in the build up to this. He reached the quarterfinals at Queen's, so he's hitting a little bit of form. And I say it's going to be a battle, and I think it's going to be one of those games that you're going to watch it, sit back, enjoy it. It's going to be a cracker. So for you guys watching, make sure you check out that game and keep an eye out. Tiafoe, one to watch today. So it's time for the wild card of the day on the women's side. Jaya, who are you going for, mate?
Sam, I'm going for Shea versus Swiatek. Swiatek got to Roland Garros final a couple of years back, and she's definitely a clay court player, but I'd be interested to see how she matches up against a grass court specialist like Shea, especially on day one at Wimbledon with a bit of a crowd.
Talking of the grass, Jaya, we know that at day one the grass is greener, the grass is thicker, the play will be that little bit slower. So how will that affect Shea and her game as she takes on Swiatek?
I think it's going to play straight into her hands. She's quite an unorthodox player, like a little bit like maybe like a Daniil Medvedev on the women's side. Sort of likes to slow the ball down, a lot of slices, comes into the net, really sort of distracts her opponents in a way that they're not used to. And I'm confident Shea can win. Absolutely. Day one at Wimbledon. Here we go.
Looking forward to that match. It's going to be an absolute cracker. And I think, like you said, yeah, she's got every chance to cause a big upset against, we know, Swiatek, the young Polish player. She is, well, I mean, a tremendous talent. But like you say, day one Wimbledon, like I mentioned earlier on the podcast, you just never know. You never know. On to my side now, and I am going for Fiona Ferro against Garbine Muguruza. So Ferro is my underdog of the day on the women's side.
Ferro, I don't really know too much about Ferro, but I'm assuming she's quite comfortable on the grass courts then, Sam.
She is. She's in good form at the moment, the young French player. She's got big weapons on both sides that she can use. Again, very good slice play, which obviously we know how important that is on the grass. And I just think Muguruza's been a little bit in and out of form throughout this year. She's hit form before the French Open, but she didn't really, got knocked out of the first round at the French Open. So I just feel like, this could be quite a big upset on day one at Wimbledon?
Yeah, I think you're right, Sam. I think I'm pretty sure she had some injuries as well going into the last few tournaments, so I'm sure that might be playing on her mind a little bit as well, especially on the grass courts. But yeah, great prediction.
Exactly. Moving on now to our match of the day, and don't forget, this is a match that we have agreed on the men's side and the women's side, a match that you cannot miss.
Well, Sam, I'm surprised we actually agree on something for once in tennis, but we've agreed to go with Draper versus Djokovic. Yeah, I think it's going to be a great match. Young Draper, very young talent, only 20 years of age, I believe. So big opportunity. He's got nothing to lose, but I mean, at the same time, he's got a lot to gain. If he's even going to take off a set or two from Djokovic, it's going to be good to watch.
And Jaya, centre court, 1:30. I mean, you couldn't wish for anything more, could you? On your first day, first day at Wimbledon, playing with at least some of the crowd there as well. A massive TV audience, and what a day for young Jack Draper.
Absolutely. I mean, the grass is going to be untouched when they walk onto that centre court, opening it up against the defending champion. I mean, there can't be any better feeling than that, surely, Sam. I mean, I bet you wouldn't mind walking onto that court.
Absolutely not. I mean, say the adrenaline for him, it's going to be through the roof. And I just feel like, if he can start quickly against Djokovic, he's got the chance just to, potentially cause a few problems. We know how good Djokovic is. I mean, he's been around for so many years now. He is obviously, as you can remember, my men's prediction player to win the whole tournament outright, full stop. So I'm not expecting Draper, unfortunately, to cause an upset here, but I do feel like we're going to see some great points. He's got a brilliant all-round game.
He's also a left-handed player as well, which could just, disrupt Djokovic for the first few games, possibly a set. And but you got to expect Djokovic to eventually wake up and just cruise through the controls and take the match pretty easily. But I think it's going to be exciting no matter what happens.
Absolutely. So for you guys watching, make sure you check that game out. It is our match of the day on day one. We can't wait for it. Let's move on now to the women's side.
So our prediction, guys, is Madison Keys versus the British hope, Katie Swan.
I think it's going to be a cracker. I mean, I looked at that match last night and I just feel like, Katie Swan making her debut at Wimbledon against the American. I feel like it's going to be a brilliant match. The crowd, I feel like, are going to get quite involved with that one. It's an early start as well, 11 o'clock, that game kicks off. So as I say, really looking forward to it. And that is a match, again, you cannot miss. I mean, say that's starting very soon. So make sure your eyes are on that game, because we do feel like that could go the distance and be an absolute cracker.
I mean, Katie Swan, she's a fiery character. She'll bring the best out of herself. And she'll definitely rise to the occasion. She loves the crowd. And of course, she's playing on home soil. So, yep, Sam, that's a great choice for you guys watching at home to see on day one for sure.
We are going to be continuing this podcast every single day of Wimbledon, and we have a special guest joining us. So that is it then. You've heard our wildcard predictions of the day, and you've heard our match of the day. And our job here is to bring you as much information as we can for you guys watching to enjoy. And if you are new to our channel, do us a big favor, hit that subscribe button, make sure notifications are turned on. Leave your comments below. What do you think of our match of the day? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Wildcards, have you got any you think could cause a little bit of an upset on day one at Wimbledon? Jaya, we're back tomorrow. We're looking forward to it. And I think we'll leave it there.
Absolutely, Sam. I'm off to watch Djokovic.
We'll see you soon.